Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. We had an election yesterday, and there's a new sheriff in town. I want to congratulate Sheriff Criner, and I went and looked at his bio. He claims to be a Christian, and also a man of integrity, and of course, my case will definitely put that to the test. We'll see that. If that's the case. And so I'd already shared with him several videos, my story, and then I sent him a congratulatory message this morning, and then I'm gonna make a video out of that too. And so this is a picture of him here, and this is on Facebook. Congratulations, Sheriff Criner. I shared my story with him on Facebook, and as a citizen, I expect the sheriff to take action to stop these many crimes and see that justice is served, even if it's found out that it was some corrupt police that sneaked under my home and shot me by surprise during a burglary. Remember, I trapped a burglar in the guest bathroom after reporting burglaries in my home for over a year. And so I'd already sent him this message on Facebook, and on February 20th, 2020, tunnels underground facilities in Midland, Texas, and that I've got that one saved, and I believe I've read it on and posted it on Facebook before, so I'm not going to read it again. And but it's the short story of when I moved here. I was a 25-year company man. Buys home, a young previous homeowner dies. I realize somebody's breaking my house, and call it. Next thing you know, I'm ambushed and shot, burglar alarms going off, and then of course they use the uniqueness of these crimes to call me crazy and cover up their burglaries, thefts, murders, etc. But now homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, and multiple other states are documenting reporting people in the attic. It's widespread racketeering and crime. It's organized crime is what it is, and obvious significant police corruption, because I had to save up disability money and pay to get the secret police identified. So anyways, I'd sent him that, and then we had the election, and then there was videos here at the bottom of them. How to get away with murder was one of them. During the commission of a felony, that's another one. Proof of medical crime, that's Dr. Glass's wife, and then the Haley Dunn timeline video. But of course, as everybody knows, I have a lot more videos than that, but this is a huge story. Okay? This is what I sent this morning to the new sheriff, okay? And then I posted it on Facebook so everybody could read what I sent the sheriff, because, let's be transparent and so we can have some accountability here. And I'm sure Sheriff Criner wants to be held accountable. If I show him evidence of a capital attempted murder, then we expect him to act on that, and if not, then we're going to start questioning him as a sheriff and as a Christian. And so here we go. Well-oiled killing machine. That's what I named this because I use that phrase. Sheriff Criner, congratulations on your win. When I read your bio, I saw that you're a Christian and that you claim to be motivated by integrity. If you watch the videos that I sent you, then you should know it's a miracle I survived this premeditated capital attempted murder, and I've given God all the praise and glory. And I always call that premeditated because I ask the question, does anybody accidentally break into a home and accidentally shoot the homeowner? Just the fact that I wasn't shot with my gun, triple proof shows I wasn't shot with my gun, tells you somebody come to my home, shot me. They could have crawled out the same tunnels that they came in. They wasn't in no danger. They come here to murder me. Okay, that takes premeditation. That's what that is. And and if I would have died, this would be a death penalty. Okay, they literally were above me and below me with incredible resources to break into private homes and kill good, hardworking citizens. Remember, burglar alarms were going off in my attic when I was shot by somebody under my home. After I returned from the hospital, now crippled for life, I found pictures of police at my home, but I wasn't given a police report saying who they were. This report was being illegally withheld from me, but I didn't know that. My attorney subpoenaed it in 2013, and they continued to hide the report. I didn't know it existed till 2019. I sent these pictures to the mayor, city council, chief police, sheriff, but nobody would name them, so I nicknamed them the Secret Police and offered a $2,000 reward. This was the first time in the history of America where a crime victim offered a reward to identify police, but I still can't get a news story in the nation. This is a well-oiled killing machine. And I used to tell people it's the first known secret police gang since Nazi Germany. Secret police are illegal, folks, and that's exactly what this was. That they were busted. They tried to disable the camera that caught caught them, and they're busted and covering up a premeditated capital attempted murder. And it looks like they murdered, somebody murdered the guy who lived here before me. Anyway, 6 years of death threats, repeated break-ins into my home, slander, and people trying to entice me to sell my home while I live under the threat of death go by before Empire Private Investigations named all 11 of the secret police, and it was incredible. Now, that still goes on. I mean, I still get people trying to talk me into moving out of my home while I live under the threat of death, and the reason's obvious, because they know this home is rigged, and it's going to prove the multiple murders. They did kill the girl. They did try to kill me. They broke into my home 10,000 times. It's a crime ring behind tens of thousands of crimes. Okay, the first person seen showing up on camera at my home was the former Martin County Sheriff John Woodward, who's now a convicted felon, and he was followed by the late Midland Sheriff Deputy Mike Naylor. Now, that's a big deal around here, because Naylor died in the line of duty in 2014, and everybody knows him around here as the hero. But what they don't know is that the public has never been told that he was a secret police who had a reward offered for his identity after being caught on camera in a capital murder attempt. And we didn't find out that we didn't get the secret police name until 2018, and he died in 2014. The public has never been told that he was a secret police who had what I just read that. Another secret police scene inside my home was the late Midland K-9 police officer Chad Simpson, who was alleged to have murdered his wife, Sandra Simpson, and killed himself 2 months after secret police Naylor died. She's a victim of the secret police just like I am. She was murdered by a secret police inside her home, and it looks like it's very possible it was secret police that tried to murder me in my home too. In 2019, I found out there was a police report all along which had been withheld from me, and that is what forced me to pay to get the identity of these police. Woodward, Naylor, or Simpson's names were not on the police report along with others. That wasn't no accident. And remember, Woodward and Naylor are no longer alive. Or Naylor and Simpson are no longer alive. Woodward is. It's easy to see why they hid this report, as it showed that MPD officers Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and Hell were at or in my home, but they were not seen arriving. This told me they were under my home, and it was somebody under my home that shot me by surprise. Okay, Ricky Ronaldo said, "I used to live in your home, right?" I was like, and he used to go in the tunnels under it. Now, I've got a print screen showing that. Multiple people said there's tunnels, underground facilities here. So obviously these 5 police officers were under my home, and that's why a lot of people are wondering if it wasn't corrupt police that sneaked under my home and shot me, because that burglar was trapped in that guest bathroom, and they're working with the burglar to break into homes and steal. This happened 2 weeks after I reported a suspected tunnel to the DA, so it's been suggested that somebody at the DA set me up to be murdered because I reported crime to them. Okay. Furthermore, and that's a big deal. Remember that. You call law enforcement, you call the DEA, and you report crime like I did, and then 2 weeks later you're shot and left for dead, and the DEA has never showed up, never answered for that. We're wondering how many other people called the DEA, and they're not alive now, right? Because they made the mistake of calling corrupt law enforcement. Furthermore, evidence has been found which makes it easy to see somebody killed the guy that lived here before me. That was Mike Lawn. And my friend was at the oil show party in 2010 when they murdered that young girl who refused to prostitute. That's believed to happen in the underground facilities and maybe in the one in my backyard. By the way, the remains of a young girl were found outside of Midland in 2013. And that case is being handled by the sheriff's department. And of course, we have a new sheriff in town, Criner. On January 8, 2011, I called the police and reported somebody in my attic. On January 28, 2012, I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic. Now I've documented homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, and many other states reporting somebody in the attic. And I've got videos on that and undeniable proof of that. These criminals have used the uniqueness of these crimes to cover up their burglaries, thefts, and murders by calling the innocent victims crazy. I'm the first to admit that this is crazy, but it's clear that I'm not. And I'm still seeing that life-destroying slander. And anybody out there that's doing that to cover up capital attempted murders, they ought to be held accountable. And if it's law enforcement, they ought to be charged with obstruction of justice. Not a day goes by that I don't hear somebody in my home, and based on evidence found and statements made, it looks like there's a 3-bedroom underground home in my backyard with 4 others, or it's actually 3, I was wrong there, 3 others somewhere nearby. Obviously, these are the source of the thousands of burglaries, thefts, murders, and attempted murders. There are many more victims besides myself, and keep in mind, these crimes have never stopped. And that leaves out the proof showing the doctors at the hospital faked x-rays before intentional maiming, mutilation, and dismemberment. I already sent you that proof video. Remember, this is a letter going to the sheriff. Okay, this is widespread racketeering, and that is the short story. I'll be glad to explain it to you in person. I'm counting on you to be the Christian that you claim to be. Okay, and so I attached this, which is just a short list of homes in Midland, Odessa, where I've documented people in the attic, and of course I got a video on that too, and. Some of these were police scanner calls that I recorded off my police scanner. Some of them people, they emailed me or told me or whatever. Okay. These are on the column on the left. That was the police identified by Empire Private Investigations in 2018. Okay. And so keep in mind, at this time, the police report was being illegal withheld from me. And so these were the secret police. They're the ones caught on camera. And some of them real interesting. Marty Barrett's a CSI. Well, if Marty Barrett's tampering with evidence in my case, just think how many other cases he's tampered with evidence, right? Rosie Rodriguez, she's the only person seen on both entries into my house on February 1st and January 29th. Tony Dickey was a lieutenant. He was inside my house at 11:03, and he wasn't seen showing up out front. That told me he come in from the trap door that the ex-wife had told me about, from the tunnels that Ricky Ronaldo said was here, okay? And then, of course, John Woodward, a Martin County Sheriff. This is Midland County. That's a sheriff from a whole different county. I mean, why was he the first to show up at my house? And the obvious answer is he was in the underground facility when I shot. Maybe he was the shooter. April Chandler, she's a main player. She's caught lying on police reports, and she's still working as a police officer right now. That's how scary this is. Chad Simpson, the alleged murderer, murdered Sandra Simpson. He was the one, his name's not even on the police report. Died 2 months after Naylor. Okay. Chadwell Nelson, we got Gilliam, Glick, and there's Naylor, the sheriff deputy, and of course, and that's a whole different agency. Okay. Then we finally, in 2019, get the police report, and you can see, well, half the names aren't even there. You know what I mean? The police report, they omitted evidence, and that's against the law. These are government documents. When you're falsifying government documents, police records, and reports, and especially when you're falsifying government documents to cover up a premeditated capital attempted murder, that's against the law. And that's what's been going on here. And you see there's names here that are not on there. But what this is people caught on camera. So that's just saying maybe they wasn't caught on camera. But you can see some of them are the same. The only one seen on camera in both sets of pictures was Rodriguez. and this was the second entry, the only known entry is what I used to call it. And that's the one I had the police report for all along, okay? And you see Rosie Rodriguez, she's a main player there, absolutely. And it's real easy to bust this crime ring because, these dirty cops have broken laws all over the place. And obviously they know about the multiple murders, the underground facilities, and everything else going on here. Midland Crime Stoppers, these are the unidentified remains of the young girl between 14 and 21 that's found outside of Midland in 2013. Now, remember in 2010, my friend was at the oil show party within 5 minutes of my house, told me that they murdered a young girl that didn't want to prostitute. I believe it's this girl right here. I mean, and then I don't know if it's there. Oh, I have this video, people in the attic here, and that goes up back to my YouTube channel. And if you hadn't seen it, you need to go check that out. Because, I mean, it's absolute undeniable proof. People all over the country are reporting this. Remember, the people breaking in these homes, they're responsible for burglary, theft, murder, attempted murder, maiming, mutilation, and all kinds of other crimes. This must be stopped. We can't sweep this under the rug anymore. And this massive police corruption has to be stopped. We need to restore some rule of law and try to rebuild some confidence in our police force. Because, I'm a lifelong supporter of law enforcement, but these corrupt police have embarrassed and shamed their badges, and I believe they've endangered the lives of good law enforcement officers that don't sneak into homes and help cover up crimes. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.